Hello everyone. Today we will see bagging, boosting and stacking under the topic ensemble learning. Now when we say model ensembles, it's a combination of models. We have the more powerful techniques are obtained for outperforming methods in the machine learning using ensemble learning. It increases the algorithmic complexity as well as the model complexity, but we want it for getting the good performance or the best performance. And the main motivations came from the computational learning theory and the statistics. Now when we say this model ensembling, we have this averaging of the measurements, that is a very simple method for ensembling, and the motivation comes from that key question that how to achieve this diversity between the different models. Now the different models are diverse. We have some based on probabilistic, based on some geometric, based on some logic, okay, but we want to get some diversity and one hybrid approach under this diversity. So here, by training the models on the random subset of data, that is one approach we can say, and the second is by constructing them from random subset of available features. So we can divide the data into row wise into different subsets and column wise into different subsets. So here the two terms are coming into picture, that is probability approximately correct, PAC learnability and the weak learnability. So PAC learnability is more strict because it always requires most of the time the output should be correct, while the weak learnability requires that sometimes the output may go wrong. So these terms are coming into picture in this model ensembling. Now when we talk about this motivation for the model ensembling, the iterative algorithm that repeatedly constructs a hypothesis that is important. And the aim is to correct the mistakes of the previous hypothesis and thus boosting it up. And the errors are boosted up to check the performance of that algorithm. Okay. The combination of the hypothesis is learned in each of the iterations to establish the model ensemble. So we say talk about these features of the ensemble methods. The first is multiple diverse predictive models from adaptive versions of the training data. That is the first one, and the second is combination of predictions of these models in the some way, often by simple averaging or voting, that may be used many of the times. So based on these criteria and features, we have the three main methods, that is bagging, boosting and stacking. So first is bagging, which is for decreasing the model variance. Then boosting is for decreasing the model's bias, and the stacking is for increasing the predictive force of the classifier. So let us see about these three techniques in the next slides. So first is a bagging, that is a bootstrap aggregating. So it's a very simple and highly effective ensemble method where we have the diverse models on different random samples of original data set. Okay, the samples are taken uniformly with replacement and they are called as a bootstrap samples. So we create multiple subsets of the data, that is called as bootstrap samples, and the differences between the bootstrap samples will create diversity among the models which are going to ensemble. So this is a diagrammatic representation we say here. The original data we have D, then we divide it into multiple subsets D1, D2 up to DT. We have the different classifiers for every of this subset, and finally we select a classifier C star, which is the averaging or voting of from these classifiers. To understand this, we have one algorithm representation for this bagging. So the input is dataset D, ensemble size T, and the learning algorithm A. And the output is obviously the ensemble of models whose predictions are to be combined by voting or averaging. So for 1 to D, the number of times we want the ensemble size, we just build bootstrap samples dt from the D by sampling this overall data with a replacement of samples, and we run A, that is algorithm which we want to learning algorithm over this particular dt. So we are just creating various models empty and we are selecting this by using the averaging or voting of the various models. The related concept of the bagging is random forest. Now when we use this bagging in concern with the tree models, then it's quite sensitive to variation of the training data. We know that when we have the tree models, we built every branch for every combination of attributes for the various instances, and it creates a elimination of a subspace sampling. That is we are creating multiple models together, we are combining them together, so diversity increases in the ensemble, and we have additional advantage that the training time of the each tree is reduced. So when the diversity increases, we combine all these tree models and generating a random forest concept. So there is one algorithm for this random forest we see over here. The input parameters are dataset D, ensemble size T, subspace dimension D. Then the output is the ensemble of tree models whose predictions are to be combined by voting or averaging. So it is working on the similar fashion as the bagging, as it is a variation of the bagging for the tree models. So the for loop is there for 1 to t again, and we are building a bootstrap sample dt from this d by sampling these data points with the replacement as we have seen, and d features are selected at random and reduce the dimensionality of dt accordingly. So that is only we can say added statement in this. We have to select D features using dimension reduction methods and train a tree model MT on DT without pruning. So we find out various tree models MT and just we select it by using averaging or voting methods. So this is a diagrammatic representation we see over here. So we have various random forest generated for the same instance. So we have the various classes at the leaf nodes, we can say class A, class B and class B, and finally we find out the class of this particular instance which is shown by orange color over here in this tree by using this majority voting. So the second method for this ensembling is boosting. So it looks out to similar as a bagging, but it is more sophisticated because we have here the various types of data set which are working for the error rates. So data set is boosted up by focusing on the error rate. Okay. And here one another classifier to ensemble that does better on the misclassification of the first classifier. So every time we are finding out some misclassification instance and then we are boosting it up by focusing on that. So there are two methods for this. So either we can duplicate the misclassified instances, so directly the misclassification rate get increased because of this misclassified number of instances are duplicated, or we can add some weight to the misclassification instances so that they will contribute more for the misclassification. So there is a question, but how much should we do the weights change? So the idea is half of the total weight is assigned to the misclassified examples and the other half to the rest. So to understand this, we have an example over here. We see that this is a confusion matrix with two classes. Here we have the 24 actual and predicted and 16 as the actual which are predicted as a negative. Then 9 are actual negative, predicted positive, 51 are actual negative and predicted negative. So these are the true positive, these are the true negative, these are the true negative, and these are false negative, and these are false positive. So here we see that the 9 plus 16, that is contribute for misclassification rate. So here on this the error rate is 0.25, that is 25% out of this 100 samples. So we can make a change for this weight update using the previous notion of this weight update, that 1 upon 2 epsilon, that is equal to 2 for the misclassified instances, and for correctly classified instances we have 1 upon 2 into 1 minus epsilon, that is 2 by 3. So after this weight upgrades, this is the original data on the left side, we can say here over here the matrix, and the right side we see the weight update for misclassified is 2. So by 2 we are increasing that the ratio, so the 9 becomes 18 over here, 16 becomes 32, and the rest are we have 2 by 3. So because of this 2 by 3 factor multiplied to 24 we get 16, and 2 by 3 of this 51 we get 34. So what we did is we are boosting the performance classification by giving weights to the misclassified examples. So this way we have one algorithm for this boosting. We have again the input data set D, ensemble size T, and learning algorithm A similar to the bagging method, and the output is weighted ensemble of models. Here we have a weight over here, and this weight is obtained from this 1 upon T, the size of this data set, and the for loop is run from 1 to T for all the iterations. Run A on D with the weights WT to produce a model MT. So here we create a model MT using a weights WT on the particular data D while using an algorithm, and the errors are calculated as a epsilon t. So every time we calculate this error epsilon t, and if it is greater than or equal to half, as we have the notion of this half error rate, we have this t is equal to t minus 1, then break. So if it is going to be more than half, error is going to be more than half, then we are going out of this loop, going out of this ensembling. But if otherwise not, we have this alpha as a confidence for this model. So that is alpha, it is equal to half of the natural log 1 minus epsilon upon epsilon. So we calculate this alpha, and based on this calculation we have this weight update t plus 1, where we have this weight and 2 upon epsilon. So this is increased weight if we have this misclassified instances, and we have for correctly classified instances we have the decrease of the weight. So we are giving more weightage for the misclassification to check the performance boosting of the model ensembles. Now the third technique over here is stacking. So it is for having the combination of multiple classification of the regression models over here specifically via a meta classifier or meta regression. So multiple classification schemes or regression schemes are combined together via some meta classification schemes, and the baseline models are trained based on the complete training set. Okay, and the meta model is trained on the outputs of the base level models as features. So understand the point here. The meta model is actually the combination doing model for classification or regression, and it is working on the output of the base level models. And the base level often consists of different learning algorithms. Obviously, as we say, for the classification and regression we have various algorithms, and so the stacking ensembles are often heterogeneous. We consider the output of the base level models as input for the meta models. It works in the two phases as we see in this particular small diagram. First, we use the multiple base classifiers to predict the class. That is the first level model we have. So we have these variations of the D1, D2, D3 we can say as a classification of the instances. And second, a new learner is used to combine the predictions with the aim of reducing the generalization error. So we see the output is y, but after we apply the function, which is a new learner, which is used to combine the predictions from the previous learner. So generalization error get reduced after applying this f function on this classes D1, D2, D3 for the given instance x. So it is working over here to get output y from the x using the stacking. So as it is stacked one over the other, it is called as a stacking method. So the algorithm we have for this purpose of stacking is the input is training data D, as we have some dimensions and the values, and the output is an ensemble classifier H hypothesis. The step 1 is to learn base level classifier. So for this number of ensembles 1 to T, we learn the hypothesis based on this data set D. And the step 2, as we already said, construct a new data set of predictions. So for 1 to m, some m number dimensions, we have all these xy consideration of data sets for applying this hypothesis H, which we obtain the first step. So hypothesis obtained the step number 1, which is implemented for the data on the step number 3. And finally, learn a meta classifier. So learn H based on the DH. So whatever the DH is generated out of this all hypotheses, from after applying all hypotheses for all the input x values, we finally learn this final hypothesis capital H based on this total data set DH. So this is with this way the stacking is working, one level on the other. That's what is called as stacking method. So to summarize all these three methods, we say that the backing decreases variance of predictions, and increasing the size of training set can't improve the model predictive force, but we still try to do some hybrid approach, the ensemble approach using the bagging concept. The secondly, we have the boosting, which is a two-step approach, where in the first step we generate a subset of origin data, and we have some model generated out of that. Then we boost the performance of these models by combining them together using some cost function, that is also we can call weight update function or the error rate update function. And the classical boosting subset creation is depends upon the performance of previous model. That is very important because error rate is contributing for that boosting of performance. And the stacking, which is the third method, which ensembles are often heterogeneous because it is works in stacking fashion. The output of previous model is considered as input for the next level model, which are called as the meta classifiers or meta regressors. So they are totally based on the previous level base level models. So we can compare all these three models which are used in various applications as per the requirement of data as well as per the requirement of algorithmic complexity. With this, thank you everyone.